Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, another teaser shot of the brand new TVR. It's got the internet all abuzz, especially the enthusiast side of things. Really excited because it looks like this is a manual lever shift knob, meaning that there's a possibility that there are going to be 3 pedals in the footwell of that brand new TVR. Still anxiously awaiting to see what the vehicle's going to look like, even though the first go round of these things have already been sold out. But supposedly by the end of the year, we'll know what the vehicle is going to be all about. Next up on the list, the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance is just a handful of days away, and this is one of the machines going to be on display. Infiniti's brand new Prototype 9. The old bodywork harkens back to the vintage days of Grand Prix racing, but this thing's all new when it comes underneath the skin. In fact, it's all electric as well. Yes, this is an EV. The vehicle makes 148 horsepower, 236 pounds-feet of torque. That doesn't sound like much, but they're claiming the vehicle can do 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds with a top speed of just over 105 miles an hour. So, if you're going to be at the Pebble Beach Concours, you can get a up-front, close look at this absolutely fantastic-looking flight of fancy from the folks over at Infiniti. Next up on the list, well, we got a brand new Zagato to talk about. Yes, Aston Martin and Zagato have been together for a long time. In fact, we've already seen the hardtop version and the Volante, the convertible version. This is the brand new Speedster version of the Zagato. Now, the vehicle comes with a 6-liter, normally aspirated V12, making 580 horsepower and 465 pounds-feet of torque. The trick is, too, this is the rarest of all the brand new runs of Zagatos, as they're only going to build 28 of these machines for the world, and sadly, all 28 of those vehicles have already been spoken for. Now, if you're a little upset about that, didn't get on the boat on the hardtop or the soft top or now the Speedster version, there is a brand new shooting brake that's going to be coming out very soon, so we'll definitely keep you in tune with that information. Next up on the list, well, maybe you're a big fan of Mazda Miata, the MX5. Maybe you got one of the first generation, and maybe it looks a little knackered like this one does. Well, guess what? Mazda's got your back. And a trend that we've seen all over the industry over the past several years is a lot of these manufacturers restoring older versions of their best cars. And the Miata has definitely been one of those cars for Mazda. In fact, they're doing an all-new restoration plan for the first-generation Miata inside of Mazda Group. Now, the trick is, this is only in Japan, but they are developing brand new parts and pieces that you'll soon be able to get your grubby little mitts on if you so desire to have these parts, including that classic wooden steering wheel, wooden gear lever, and even the original Bridgestone tires these vehicles came out with from the factory. So this is exciting stuff for people who are big fans of some of these cars. You can't get parts for them. Now you get brand new cars right from the manufacturer. We're seeing this across the board. Many different manufacturers doing a lot of stuff to keep their old vehicles on the road and keep that passion alive. I have to say, it's a great thing. Last up on the list, and probably the weirdest story that I have going on right here, is this particular machine. This was the Remick Concept 1. Yes, you remember this one where Richard Hammond sailed her off an edge and flipped end over end, doing quite significant damage to Mr. Hammond as he is back on the mend and actually doing brand new episodes of the Grand Tour, albeit he's still hobbling around quite a bit on crutches. But sadly, one of the only 8 Concept 1s was written off completely. But the weirder situation involves the hill climb competition that the 3 presenters for the Grand Tour were actually involved in. And this has brought on the wrath of the FIA, who has come down excessively hard on this hill climb group. This was one of their first races for the season that was the hill climb season in Switzerland. But what it has done now is come up with a massive fine to the hill climb organizers, as a $5,141 fine was levied on the group that I'm assuming probably doesn't have that kind of money just to throw about. But the bigger thing is 6 month suspensions to the race director, who is Christian Mueller, and 3 of the stewards, that being Herman Mueller, Karl Marte, and Daniel Leggett. This is a big blow to these guys. They can't compete, they can't organize, they can't even be anywhere a part of any hill climb series in the group for 6 months. Now, why, you're probably thinking, were these fines actually being levied? Well, here's the situation. Hammond, May, and Clarkson were not actually registered participants to be running in this hill climb. They were basically doing it kind of under the radar, even though they were kind of above the radar. Why they didn't make them registered participants is kind of beyond me, and that's the reason why the FIA is so upset. That, and its very, very public black eye to any hill climb event or any registered event for the FIA as well. So, it's kind of a weird deal, a tricky deal, but very, very intriguing. One more piece of the puzzle, and we'll get to see just what exactly took place at that event on the new season of the Grand Tour, which will be coming up in the next couple of months. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs in the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.